So, have I got the right scene now? Yeah, looks good. Hello, everybody. It's been far too long since I've been on the stream here online. Even my actual plays recently, we had a few hiccups with people not being awake when they were supposed to be playing or not being well enough to play and things like this. So I've been away a little bit, and it pains me, to be honest, because actually we are quite close now to the 1,000 subscribers. It would be really good to do that. I've got a week off, not entirely free, of course, because there's lots of stuff coming up, but I should be able to stream a little bit this week, and I've got a couple of deliveries. One has just arrived today, and that's why I thought, oh, I need to get back into this. So I'm going to talk about a few things that I've recently been looking into, that I've been reading, that I've been getting deliveries of, and you can tell the first one is up there. Yeah, that's Dragonbane. So let me dive under the table and pick up the goodies I just got. Just got this. Look at this. So I got my pre-order of Dragonbane. Can you see it? No, not really well, but I can show you better here on the screen. So Dragonbane of the rulebook. This is the rulebook as hardcover, as you can hear. It's the same sort of in content, of course, as you get on the box set. Of course, it's the same rules, other than one little adventure being different. And you don't get the solo with this, and you don't get the standees with this, and so on. But it's nice to have on the shelf like this. And I just trust that a hardback book will survive a little longer than the ones in the box. It's also useful, of course, to have more than one copy of the rulebook in case your players want to look at something. But the paper is different. Yeah, the paper is the sort of the matte, the sort of soaky, uppy, nice feeling paper. That means that some of the graphics don't pop quite as much. Yeah, they don't shine because it's not glossy paper, but I really like the feel of these books. So that's one. The other one is the bestiary. That's the one in the middle of the screen here. Yeah, I've already used a few of the beasts based on the PDFs. The art is brilliant as ever. Yeah, I mean, without spoiling too much, Mountain Troll it doesn't really. It tries to hide it out, or the Chimera and so on. You get the stat blocks. There's always a double page for each of the monsters. You get the stat block. You get the attack tables. You get golems. You get dragons. You get living dead. You get werewolves, sea serpents, and you get a few playable classes. So you can, for example, play where is it here? The new ones. Frog people, Carkians, first of all, cat people, lizard people, and satyrs. Satyrs, I guess. That should be pretty nifty. Lizard people could be quite good fun. And the cat people, can you imagine that? I think I need to try this out. I still have this plan at some point to actually go and run Rime of the Frost Maiden with the rules from Dragonbane. I would love to do that. Of course, there's Windhame coming as well. Yeah, so along with the book, and I just see slightly dented corner here. That's not so nice. You also get the standees. So you get another set of cardboard standees and another battle map with the feet as well, with the bases. So they really went down well when I last played this around the table. Dragonbane, people loved those little figures, and they said, oh, this is such a good idea, it's so much easier than having to paint all the minis. And yeah, I agree. I used to paint minis about 30 years ago. More than that. 35 years ago. And since then I haven't really invested anything, time or money in that hobby. So, what else did I have on my little list? Oh, clever me. I actually closed the list to tidy up to have enough room. Yes, so there's lots of stuff going on. What else have I got recently? I have had Building Better Worlds delivered. It's up on the shelf. Holding books into the camera doesn't really work so well, but you can see it here. Building Better Worlds is all about playing Alien as in a colonist setting. So it lends itself to a longer play. Yeah, so you can actually establish a colony, build a colony. You can basically do lots of base building with it. You can say, okay, how do we grow this colony? How do we make it successful? And things can go wrong. You've got so many different story opportunities that don't necessarily directly have to do with aliens and polymorphs and whatnot. Xenomorphs, I mean, coming around and eating you up. So there's a lot of opportunities with this. I was privileged enough to play some of the early playtests on this one, and I loved it. And I hope we get back to it at some point. Hint, hint. But yeah, Building Better Worlds is definitely a very good book. If you like Alien, a lot of people do, you can see it's got gear and ships and extrasolar species, etc. There's a lot to like about it. There are some gaps where people say, all right, I would have liked more detail on this or more detail on that. So it's a bit more of a sandbox thing. But I think it's actually really good. I had a quick read through so far. I haven't actually played it yet, but I'm really really excited to have that. Next one is not actually a Free Leagues one. I sort of, with slightly bent arm, twisted arm, agreed to run another game at my local club, and that will start next week. And that is this one here, Dreams and Machines. The starter box is quite chunky. It's quite heavy, and it's good value. Now, this is not a paid ad, I have to say that. I paid for everything here myself. But I'm really looking forward to running this. It's basically, imagine you've got Horizon Zero Dawn, which is up there somewhere, and you make a role-playing game, but you have the same ideas, you have the same inspirations, but then you don't get the license. I don't know whether that's true, by the way. It's just how it feels. And then you end up with a role-playing game like this. So it's post-apocalyptic. It tries to be optimistic, though. It's all about rebuilding the world, and there's lots of mystery around, and there's threat around. But it seems to be much more optimistic than a lot of the other post-apocalyptic worlds where it's all, oh, how evil are people. The aim, you can see that by the graphics side already, is to basically make it colorful, but also make it something where you can achieve something. Yeah, it's not all going to the dogs and that's it. So I'm looking forward to that, and that I will run the starter set on Tuesday. They have tweaked the 2D20 system a little bit. So, for example, the way that skills and attributes work is a bit different. The thing that hit points work differently. You've got spirit markers, which is like a personalized momentum pool, essentially. But yeah, you can manage that. You have to manage that. You power a lot of things with that. Still momentum as well. There's still threat, and there's supply points. So you've got 4 resources to manage, and I'll see whether I can manage that around the table, because you have the spirit, the threat, the momentum, supply points, and there's probably something else that I forgot. But yeah, I am quite pleased with the set overall. It's got lots of stuff in it for the basic money. So this is, of course, the whole assortment, the whole offering. So they've got a bit more here, and there are some audiobooks you can listen to, and there are some audio logs, and they're talking about making novels from it. So yeah, something to dip into over the next few weeks. So I think I've got 6 sessions to run on this, and I'll let you know how I get on with it. What I have recently played and really liked, I had now 4 games of it, is this. This is my German channel, Old Gods of Appalachia. It was my first foray into the Cypher system, and I ran it with a group, one before Christmas, one after Christmas, 2 different adventures, 2 different groups. I loved it. It was really atmospheric. The first one I did was actually an adventure, Cthulhu adventure I ran on it, called Of Sorrow and Clay, which I think was a 100% great fit for Old Gods of Appalachia. And the second one I ran is the scenario in there, the Luthier's Folly. That's in the book. I just called it something else, so it wasn't so obvious that it had something to do with the Luthier. I just called it Dance in Stonega, which is in Virginia. The players loved it. We all had a good time. Yeah, the system, I'm sure I made a few mistakes, but actually I have to say that running this system, running a Cypher system like this, and in this incarnation certainly, because it's a bit tweaked from the older Cypher, I really liked so much that I actually put some money down for the Magnus Archives as well. So when that comes, we'll do some more mysteries, modern mysteries. Right. What else have we been up to? Because I haven't been on here so long. We've been continuing with Conan. You can find it on my channel. I didn't actually put a tab up here for this. But we are nearing the last, I would say, quarter of the campaign, Shadow of the Sorcerer. Really good fun. Again, we had a few cancellations because people were unwell and couldn't play, but that should continue this week. I'm looking forward to that on Thursday. Also next Thursday. I get confused, but you'll see it in the schedule. But it's actually reaching a climax now on the island, and then there's a whole chapter after that, and then there's an epilogue. It's going to get quite mystical this time around. So if you want to catch up with it, there are a few episodes available. Yeah, but you can also just join a later chapter. I would recommend maybe when they arrive at the island, because that's sort of, yeah, it's a new chapter. So if you don't want to watch all of it beforehand. Right, we also have been lucky enough to play a few games recently. And one of them is Harlem Unbound. So we've been playing Harlem Unbound and Ode to the Lost. But basically, Harlem Unbound is Dark IQ Studios. It's Chris Spivey. I'm never quite sure how to pronounce his surname. Really good scenarios. I get to play this even better. It's normally a source book for, in the second edition, for Cthulhu. The first it was Trail of Cthulhu or Call of Cthulhu. But our GM, Thomas, he's actually running this game for us using Vaesen rules and has been working really, really well. We have been playing a little while now. This particular scenario took us to the Dreamlands, as you might just about see in that thumbnail, and it was really good fun. I was completely incompetent as usual, but it was really good fun indeed. Right, what's next on my little list? I have, again, I'm excited actually to do this, a charity stream we did. And that was for, it's called, what was it called? March for Kids, which is all about funding a accommodation at a hospital in Germany where people can come when their kids are in hospital or staying in hospital for a little longer time. And they basically need funding to keep that going so families can stay close to their kids and they don't have to travel back and forth all the time. So we are going to do that again. So 3P, the German stream, are going to run that again, and I am going to run one session of Kids on Bikes, probably with the same group. So that's going to be interesting because at the end of Last Adventure they were shot into space, so I have to see how we retrofit that. But I'm looking forward to running it in the second edition this time, and I might actually, I will probably be running it on Alchemy again, which brings me to the next topic. But just before I move there, I'm hoping that during March I will have a few streams with the charity links. And this, I think, is a really cool charity. Even though it's in Germany, my English-speaking patrons or watchers, audience may want to contribute to that as well. We'll see. We'll see. If it's a couple of €100, I would be very, very happy if I got together. Yeah. Last year, they got over 2,000, so that was really cool. So, watch out for that, but it will probably be in German, this one. Another thing that has been delivering lots of different things recently, and I probably want to just dive into this a little bit further today, is Alchemy. Alchemy has been doing a lot. As you can see, I've been using it for Old Gods of Appalachia. I might just hop into one of the games briefly to show you what it looks like. So I had all of the... Let me just turn up the music so we don't double music or triple music you. So you've got the very atmospheric backgrounds, and basically I created lots of different scenes for it, mainly using Midjourney. So your mileage may vary on this, but for me it's perfect to have all this artwork that I can use, and that is actually, after a little bit of tweaking, really atmospheric. Yeah, these games are really good. Now, we didn't run the character sheets on here. Yeah, people were rolling at home. Or actually, if they wanted to, they could just roll here on the little user interface. You've got all the characters here as well. But for me, just to have it as backdrop, and if you watch the stream, if you see the stream, let me just show you a screenshot from the middle somewhere. Not the best resolution right now. Where is the better resolution? Quality. Yeah, let's go a bit higher here. You can see how that actually really worked very well. I had these little inserts, basically just showing the pictures from Alchemy, with the music running from Alchemy, and we had the dice window. And that worked surprisingly well. And Alchemy have actually just produced something called the Zen mode, which is like this. So you can hide all the user interface, and that is perfect. I just wish they had done that about 2 weeks earlier. But well, I've got it for the next game, Kids on Bikes. It's probably the next one I'm going to play on it. But what's really interesting as well, a lot of the Free League stuff, and if you know this channel a little bit, you know I like the Free League stuff, has actually been beta'd, alpha'd for this game here in particular. You like that, do you? That OBS overlay on alchemy? What I had done, if you mean this one here, basically the overlay is seen from, oh gosh, what was it from? Streamlabs anyway, from the marketplace. And then I build it around it. So the middle picture here, yeah, there's sort of the dancers and the sort of little frame around it. Basically, that's just a filter that's put over the top of alchemy. So I just pulled in this from alchemy and the music. So that's how we did that. But that worked really well. But coming back to alchemy, Forbidden Lands, for example, is on here. But I wanted to show you briefly Coriolis, because that's slightly further along than Forbidden Lands. Forbidden Lands is very much still in the alpha mode. Tales from the Loop is a bit further along and looks pretty good. And Coriolis is a bit further along. So if I wanted to create a new game, I'll just show you this briefly. And I'm not saying it's perfect yet, and it's not. Yeah, they're not quite there yet, but it is coming together quite nicely, I think. Come on, Coriolis. Look at all the systems you get these days. Dragonbane as well. I can then say, okay, what do you want to have included? I want to have Coriolis core rulebook. Look at all the content I've got with my Kickstarter back then. It can be a bit tricky to actually find stuff. So I wanted to add a little bit more Coriolis. There we go. Oh, can't at this point. Strange. I'll show you anyway for now. Quick start. Oh, here they are. So I can have, for example, Last Voyage of the Ghazali. That's how it's pronounced. Something I really enjoyed running online. So let's have a look at that. Join the game. And you get the animations here. You get the animated sets. No, I want to start playing. What doesn't quite work yet is the integration of all the different scenes. So for example, if you have a scene here, emergency, let's have a look. It's better on this one than on the core rulebook, of course. So you get the nice graphics. I don't think the map. Oh yes, you have the maps. Okay, I did them a disservice. You have the map of the Ghazali, but it's not really annotated very well. Yeah, if you know the game, it comes actually. The booklet comes with a paper map, and you've got some energy points storage on there. You've got some labels, some legends. So you've got a map here. You can put characters on it to say where you are, but it's not very easy to actually understand this map. You have the story down here in these little windows. It's all there, but it's a little bit difficult to use. So I would always have a second window just with either the PDF or the articles on the side, maybe even on a second screen or second computer. I've done it with previous games. And yeah, what I wanted to show you, and this is for some, I have to add a player. So let me just get my dummy test account. Invite them. And this is something that's fresh, the character creator. So I basically said I want to assign a character to this person and I want to create it. So you can have a name. If you don't know one, click on it, you get a randomly created name there in the middle. It's a bit small, probably. You can choose background and origin. So I want a Zenithian, comes with an explanation. I want an operative, and I want a spy. There we go, Zenithian spy. Yeah, so basically, as you can see here, if you change this, I will change the blurb and the skills. Once you're done, yeah, this is my quick character. You hit OK. And then you have to, you can see here on the side in this panel, this is the player's panel essentially. You will then have to still do the skill allocation, the attribute allocation. But it's basically done a lot for you. Yeah, you can also create these characters in advance. And if I look for an NPC, who shall we take? I don't want a beast. I want a construct. So you can see these are pre-configured as well. Here, let's use human agent. I was looking for the pre-gens. Maybe they're not on the last voyage. Doesn't matter. I'm just gonna go for an Asturbantrooper. Add as NPC. Add one. Now pops up. I can make them visible in the turn order. I can pull them onto the map with token. click to place a token. And what I should be able to now do is play as them. And that should give me an overview of the character sheet, I hope. I haven't tested this at all. There you go. That's the NPC character sheet. So that gives you a first impression of what that looks like. Yeah, melee combat strength and so on. Description, there's not much there. There's no picture, but you can see the attributes and the skills are there. So if I wanted to roll, you can see in the bottom left panel here, I've got all the skills and you've got some actions you can pre-configure and save. I want to shoot with the accelerator rifle, click on the dice pool, use, and then get all the dice rolling here on the side, and 6s are the scarabs, which is quite nice. So I think this is coming together really nicely, actually. It's not quite there yet. There are some hiccups, some things where you say, oh, that's hard, that's difficult to do, but I think, yeah, considering how easy it is to run a game on this compared to Foundry, and I'm a big Foundry fan, yeah, but I know a lot of people find it far too complicated. This might actually find its niche. I hope that they do find a niche, especially with the beautiful graphics that you often find in Free League games, and being able to leverage these sort of scenes with the players, even if you do it on a big screen while you're playing face to face. Yeah, you can have a telly on the side, you can have a monitor, or one of those fancy schmancy gaming tables that I wish I had. Yeah, I think this really is a good match with the Free League games. And it was interesting to see how, what is it called? The Electric State, actually as part of the Kickstart goals, has a, don't like that blue flashing, has a alchemy Kickstarter system within it, but it didn't have one for Foundry. Yeah, that was interesting. I know that caused some unrest for some people. You see here, for example, I find that these effects are overdone. Space battle, all good, but for me that's just too busy. So you can go in here and edit it. I hope that works. And you can then remove the animation or stop the animation or the effect. So, theme. I thought you can. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think I've certainly done it before. I just can't find it right now. Yeah, or you may have to recreate the scene yourself without the animation. Right. Anyway, that was just a quick, has alchemy usurped role in your repertoire of VTTs? You know, it is very much like Roll tried to be. And Roll for its time was really good, but I think Roll have not managed to make it a viable business. So what they have actually now, unfortunately, had to do, because their supplier, stopped doing it, is they don't have video chat anymore. They don't have voice chat anymore. They have maps, and they have, if I read my update correctly, they're entering a cooperation with Owlbear Rodeo to use the maps from there, and they're making their own source code open source. Basically, I think they're saying, look, we can't make this work, but we don't want this software to go to the dogs, so let's just make it available to everybody. So yes, alchemy has definitely, for me, usurped. That's right, Roll, replaced, taken over, filled the gap left by Roll. Yeah. One thing that was easy, if you like, in Roll, but it's not as easy here yet, but they're working on it, was creating your own character sheets for your custom systems. But yeah, there was a development stream from Alchemy just yesterday, I think, that showed what they're doing and with their system builder, and that is what they're currently using themselves to build up these systems, and eventually that will become available to the users as well. So I'm hoping that that will also plug that gap from Roll. Yeah, but this is pretty pretty, isn't it? What do you think? Yeah, the statuette of Zar, there was another name, Gabra or something, was the very first, it's the very first adventure in the rulebook, and I had so much fun at the time when we played this. Because we basically just spun the story further and further and further, and yeah, we played it face to face, and it was really, really good here in the Terrankanu Valley. I got up to lots of mischiefs. These spires here basically built a whole adventure site underneath it, and yeah, they ended up knocking over one of these pillars with a spaceship. Memories, sweet memories. Right. What else did I have on my list? I think that's pretty much it. Now, all of this was just touched upon. If you watch this and you say, I want to know more about this, or I want to know more about the other stuff that I haven't even managed, let's say, yeah, the interest I have in something coming to Steam called Never Ending Dungeons, which is a bit like Dungeon Alchemist, coupled with Tailspire. Knave, okay, I just got the most recent version of Knave. Shadow of the Blue Wizard, I just got an update. What else? Solemn Veil is coming out soon. That should be coming. It's root to me. All that sort of stuff. If you want to know more about that, let me know. Leave me a comment. If you want me to have a look at the Foundry module, for example, for building better worlds and how that works, let me know. I always am pleased to have requests or suggestions, so I don't always have to think about, oh, what could be interesting to you guys. Just let me know. Yeah, and if you like this today, yeah, and I'd like to hear a bit more, leave me a like, leave me a sub, or even better, leave me a comment. I love comments. So, First Age Entertainment, thank you very much for keeping me company. I will be making some dinner now, but yeah, hopefully I'll be back on here at some point this week. Take care, everybody.